Hey, what's going on, everybody? Dan Watkins here. If you don't know me, I am a sports anchor and reporter for WBZ News Radio in Boston. Wanted to talk a little bit about the Red Sox today on this Monday, May 19th. 48 games into the season. The Red Sox are 23 and 25. It's been more of the same this year. 500 baseball. We're going on close to 4 years of this now. All those good vibes that we had Saturday night after Rafael Devers hits his first career walk-off home run just pretty much evaporated just like that. Sunday afternoon, Brian Bayo goes out, has one of, if not the worst start of his career. And the Red Sox end up dropping 2 of 3 to Atlanta. They've lost 5 out of their last 6 games. They're 5 and 5 in their last 10. As I mentioned, they are 23 and 25 through 48 games as we approach that 50-game mark this week. More of the same. I feel like treading water at this point is just putting it lightly. So here's what I want to do. I kind of want to go through some things with this Red Sox team that have been jumping out and ask this bigger question: that have we reached the point that it's time for the Red Sox to make an organizational shakeup, change things up, really make a monumental move here to alter the course of this franchise before it's too late this season and we get to the point where they're just playing out the string and all we have to look forward to is seeing the growth of Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer as they try to figure things out at the major league level at some point later on this season. I know I would much prefer if those guys come out and they help contribute to a team that is going to make the playoffs and maybe make some noise in October. But right now, the way things are going, especially with this pitching staff, it is not looking like that's going to be the case. So here's our rundown for today that you can see on the screen here. I just went over Sox, their series against Atlanta. Same story through 48 games. We'll talk about Alex Cora. We're going to talk about Andrew Bailey, the team's pitching coach. Some other notes that have come out over the past few days with this team, and then we'll look at their matchup tonight against the Mets and try to find a best bet for us tonight. So let's talk about Alex Cora here. For years, I've defended Alex Cora. I don't think he's been the problem with them in the past, as the Red Sox have been a 500 baseball team here really since the start of the 2022 season. You could even go back to like the midpoint of 2021, which I did. So the Red Sox, since July 1st, 2021, they are 302 and 313. 9 games below 500 in almost a 4-year stretch. They're right there. They go on a little winning streak here and climb back over, get to like 7 games over 500, whatever it is. They will be exactly 500 since the midway point of the 2021 season. Alex Cora's biggest strength, the manager, is relating to his clubhouse, right? He's a former player. He's won at the collegiate level. He's won at the major league level as a player. He's won as a manager, but now I feel like he has just been riding 2018 and that hot little stretch that they got on in October of 2021 here for years. And I'm not really sure what he's doing right now to make this team better. So the Red Sox are 5 and 12 that Cora has made that have cost them in those games. The bullpen mismanagement here the past few weeks has come back to bite them. The one that really jumps out is that second game in Detroit last week where the Red Sox go up in extra innings 9-7. They leave Greg Weissert on the mound for an extra inning, and Weissert, who was struggling in his first inning, walking guys, goes out there and gives the game away. Red Sox have Liam Hendriks rested and ready to go in the bullpen, and instead of putting him in the game, Cora sticks with Weissert for an extra inning. After the game, he's asked by the reporters, why didn't you put Hendriks in the game? He said, well, he's the only guy left, so we got to get some length out of Weissert. Alex, you had a 2-run lead. You had a chance to go for a kill shot and pull off a big comeback win there against the best team in the American League with Tariq Skubal, the reigning Cy Young Award winner, coming up the next day to at least get one game out of that series in Detroit. Instead, he leaves Weissert in. He blows it. Red Sox get swept in Detroit. They had lost 4 games in a row. Going into that Atlanta series, or 3, they lost all 3 in Detroit. They lost Friday night against Atlanta. 5 out of their last 6 games, just mismanaged there. Red Sox would be 24 and 24 if he goes to Hendriks there that night, and Hendriks can shut the door. But it's been just a lot of mismanagement with these pitchers, I feel like, whether it's leaving guys in too long, pulling them too short. Brian Bayo yesterday on Sunday Cora leaves him in for the 5th inning. He desperately wants him to get through 5 so they're not taxing that bullpen. Bayo can't do it. He is all over the place. He's walking guys. He had 5 walks, which I believe is a career high yesterday. He allowed 10 hits. The Braves were they were all over him on Sunday afternoon. Cora leaves him in to walk the bases. Sean Newcomb comes in, he's a journeyman at this point, can't get out of it, gives up some runs. Red Sox end up, basically getting their face ripped off yesterday, 10-4. So bullpen mismanagement is a thing. We'll get more into the pitching here, which is just a big problem with this team right now. The constant lineup shuffling with Alex Cora, he's been doing this for years, sitting guys constantly. He's always talking about 162. It's about 162. We got to manage the full season. But I feel like the Red Sox are a team that they just don't jump on momentum. Momentum is huge in sports, and the Red Sox just don't seem to ever jump on momentum and really get things rolling in the right direction, which is something that they desperately need to do here throughout the rest of this homestand. They got 3 with the Mets this week and then 4 with Baltimore over the holiday weekend. The lineup shuffling, as I just mentioned, another thing here. Now, yes, Tristan Casas went down with that season-ending knee injury, but he was not playing all that well to begin with before he got hurt. He was supposed to be your cleanup guy, was not looking good. The Red Sox are just trying to find someone in that cleanup hole. I think they have a pretty good answer in Wilyer Abreu, but they don't really bat him there all that much. Alex Cora has been very stubborn, putting Christian Campbell in that cleanup spot for the past couple of weeks here. Campbell has seen his batting average drop from like around 310 to in the 230s since he was put in that cleanup spot a couple of weeks ago. Cora just sticking him there every single night as the kid just keeps going 0 for 3, 0 for 4. Has the occasional hit or home run there that we saw against Detroit last week. But the cleanup spot for a rookie, that's just not the spot for a rookie to be trying to figure things out where he's going through his first real slump of his career. He's trying to figure things out and get things going back in the right direction, become the guy that we saw the first couple of weeks of the season where the Red Sox gave him a massive extension after like 2 or 3 games, whatever it was. They gave him that 8-year deal. So Christian Campbell's trying to figure things out. He should not be in the cleanup spot while he's doing that. Maybe you drop Devers and Bregman down a spot each. So like Rafi's hitting 3rd, Bregman's hitting 4th, then you have Abreu 5th, and you maybe play with someone in that 2-hole there. But it's just not the place for a rookie to be trying to figure things out. I talked about how Cora's big strengths in the clubhouse and relating to his players. The Rafael Devers situation, I think there's a lot of blame to go around there. Cora is certainly not free of any blame there, but John Henry has to fly, halfway across the country to Kansas City to go and kind of sort things out after Devers has those comments basically telling Craig Breslow to learn how to do his job and trade for somebody, bring in a first baseman. I think Devers looked like a poor teammate, a bad teammate there at that point, but Alex Cora just basically be like, hey, you want him to play first base, Craig? You go talk to him, which is pretty much what happened there. It's just a lot of just like Alex Cora is just looking to not have any blame here, and I think there should be a bit of more of a magnifying glass on him and his decisions because this team is not even really treading water at this point. It's starting to get ugly and it's starting to unravel. So, as I mentioned, they're 302 and 313 since July 1st, 2021. You got a couple of 78-win seasons, an 81-win season. This year, going into this season, this team was expected to flirt with, in the upper 80s in wins. They could certainly still get there, but I do think they need a change. You could blame the rosters in the past. I don't really think that's the case this season. The guys they added a top-of-the-line pitcher, one of the best starting pitchers in baseball, and Garrett Crochet. He's been awesome. They add Alex Bregman, who's been incredible in that lineup so far. Aroldis Chapman has been a very pleasant surprise with how he's pitched out of the bullpen. He's been their best reliever this season. So the additions have been great. It's the guys that have been here that really aren't taking that step forward. Outside of like Wilyer Abreu, we're just not seeing much progression from some of these guys, and it's really tough. I think they are a better baseball team. They're underachieving right now, and they might need to make a move here when it comes to who's talking to them. They might need to change the voice in the room. I think any other coach in any other sport, any other team, you lay out the track record that it's been here for the last 3 to 4 years, and that guy's gone. That guy would be gone. Look at what the Baltimore Orioles just did with Brandon Hyde over the weekend. He had just led them to back-to-back playoff appearances. Starts off 15-28. He gets the boot. Their pitching staff has been a disaster. The Red Sox, yes, they're better than Baltimore right now. we'll see coming up this weekend. It wouldn't surprise me with how the Red Sox have been if Baltimore comes in here and takes 3 out of 4. But they need more. They need more from their manager. And I'm just, what is he doing to make this team better right now? I've been asking myself this question for a couple of days, and I can't come up with an answer. You got the whole drama with Devers, which has seemed to kind of simmered out, and it seems like everything's okay there. But it's just the clubhouse seems like they don't really have a direction. They're kind of pointing fingers at upper management, waiting to get a better answer at first base than Abraham Toro or Nick Sogard or Romy Gonzalez when he comes off the IL later. We got this situation here as they're waiting to get these kids up with Meyer and Anthony. And it's just they need a better and a stronger voice. And I just don't think Alex Cora is that guy right now. He just kind of seems like a guy that's just kind of along for the ride and riding his own coattails from what he did 7 years ago now at this point with the 2018 team and that little run that they had in October of 2021. He keeps saying on a nightly basis, we're right there, we're right there. Well, Alex, we're getting to the point now where if you don't get there, this season's going to take a drastic swing, and it's going to be ugly, and this team is just going to be kind of playing out the string here, which is what we've seen the past 3 August and Septembers, as it just hasn't looked good for the Red Sox for a few years now, and I think it might be time to finally make a change when it comes to who the manager is of this team. But, Alex Cora could certainly prove me wrong. I'm just not sure what he's doing right now to make this team better. And I think some of the moves that he's made have made this team worse and have contributed to losses. So that's where I'm at with Alex Cora. The next guy here, Andrew Bailey. This one I think is unraveling much quicker. We could see something happen here with Bailey here, maybe in the next couple of weeks. It would not surprise me as the Red Sox pitchers are just not taking steps forward. These young guys that have been in Andrew Bailey's program for a couple of years now just do not look good. So the young pitchers that have been in his program for a few years, guys like Tanner Houck, Brian Bayo, Garrett Whitlock, are just not taking steps forward, as I mentioned. In fact, they're really regressing. Brian Bayo, we saw him have the worst start of his career yesterday, as I mentioned earlier. Garrett Whitlock's been a mess for a few weeks now out of the bullpen, just leaving pitches in the middle of the zone, getting crushed. And then Tanner Houck has had 2 of the worst starts of his career here in like a 3-week stretch, allowing over 10 earned runs. He did that against Tampa, and then he did it against Detroit. Now he has an injury. He's on the IL. But we've seen Houck just really regress since that stellar first half that he had in 2024 that made him an all-star. So the rotation outside of Garrett Crochet this year, and I want to pull this up. Where is this tweet? This tweet from Nugget Chef at JHeyKid from Underdog. Garrett Crochet has a 2.00 ERA in 10 starts. All of the other starting pitchers for the Red Sox this season have an ERA of 5.23 in 38 starts. Yeah, you got those 2 starts from Houck, but it's a consistent thing where the Red Sox, especially over the last week to 10 days, the starting rotation has just been putting them in a hole every single night. They are giving up runs in the first and second inning, and the Red Sox got to claw out of it. And with how they've been hitting after the 6th inning this season, they're just not equipped to do it right now. They did on Saturday, but that was really the first time all year that they've done that. Bayo puts them in a hole. Rafi Devers hits the grand slam to put them in the lead. Bayo goes right back out, gives the lead up again. Lucas Giolito, it's hit or miss with him every other start as he's down to just 2 pitches really at this point. Walker Buehler had some nice flashes. He's hurt. We're going to see him come back on Tuesday night. Hunter Dobbins has been a nice little surprise for the pitches tonight against the Mets. As I mentioned, Tanner Houck has not been good this year. Newcomb was a mess when he was in the rotation. So the Red Sox starters have been, outside of Garrett Crochet, inconsistent or just flat out bad. And I think a lot of that has to do with this pitching program with Andrew Bailey. And we can get into the bullpen in a minute, but where the Red Sox now preach off speed and spin rate and just throwing all the sliders and the sweeper pitches. It looked great when they first came, when Bailey first started as the team's pitching coach at the beginning of 2024 here. And I want to bring up this month-by-month look here and make sure you guys can see it. So let me just pull this over here. So we got the Baseball Reference. This is the 2024 Red Sox pitching splits right now. As you can see, Bailey comes in with this pitching backwards program that he's got going on, relying more so on the off-speed stuff and kind of making guys think backwards when it comes to hitters and all that kind of stuff, and not using the fastball as much. And as you can see in April and March of 2024, it's great. The team has an ERA of 2.62, but since that point, it has gotten progressively worse. For each month since, as you can see, it goes to 4.12, 4.33, 4.91, 4.95, and then you get to September, it drops back down in the threes. The weather gets a little colder, and really you're just playing out the string at that point with some different guys that are coming up. But as you can see in the bulk of that season, when those games were meaningful and the Red Sox needed to pick up wins, the starting pitching started to unravel and fall apart. The full pitching staff, that is. This is not just starters, this is the entire pitching staff. And the Red Sox seem to believe this thing where, the softer it goes in, the softer it goes out, trying to limit home runs, which they have done for the most part rather successfully. I believe they're in the bottom half of the league when it comes to home runs allowed, or top half of the league, however you want to look at that. But they're giving up, I think they've given up the fourth most hits in baseball this season. The way the Red Sox are playing defense right now and how they've been playing defense for the past couple of years has not been good. That's not helping things, but you really can just kind of go all around this and look, this is all in 2024. Strikeouts go down as the year goes on. The whip goes up as the year goes on. Walks go up as the year goes on. It's just it's regression, and it's not good, and teams figure it out. And it's getting to the point now where I think Andrew Bailey's having a negative impact on his pitchers. You'll not falling into this right now. It's Garrett Crochet and Aroldis Chapman, two guys that have elite stuff, one, yes, and two, have not been here really long, where I mentioned you got guys like Brian Bayo, Tanner Houck, Garrett Whitlock. Cutter Crawford's been hurt, but guys that you need to take that next step to put you on that next level are regressing. And these guys have all been in Andrew Bailey's system and program for almost now. So that's 2024. We can pull up 2025 here quick. Obviously not a huge sample size. Let's go, where is it here? So 2024, scroll up to the top. Let's head to 2025. As Baseball Reference loads for us, let's head back down to months. And there we go, same thing. So we got the Red Sox, right? April and March, they're 17 and 15 in those games. ERA right around 4, a little better than league average. Strikeouts close to 9 per 9 innings. The walks, where's the walks? 102 walks is a lot. But yeah, so they've been walking quite a few guys this season. They're already up to 49 here through 16 games at the halfway point. So that's looking about the same, but the strikeouts are way down. The whip has gone up a lot. ERA has shot up almost half a run. The pitching staff is just not doing their job right now. And I think you have to look at the pitching coach here because this thing is not working. So I'm really wondering if some changes are going to be made when it comes to the Red Sox pitching program, specifically their pitching coach, because the way things are going here, it's going to put this season in the disappointment territory, if it's not already, very, very quickly. So let's talk about a couple of the other things here, as I believe the clock is ticking on this Andrew Bailey situation, and maybe even Alex Cora too, as we go throughout this season. So the first base situation with the Red Sox, it looks like Christian Campbell started taking ground balls there over the weekend. Now in Worcester, Marcelo Meyer has played 2 of the last 3 games at second base. Could be trying to open up a hole here, or open up a spot for Meyer to come up, and eventually Roman Anthony as well. Christian Campbell just saying, hey, I'll do what it takes, whatever I have to do to help this team. Going to try playing first base. We'll see if we get to the point where we actually see him there in game action. But the Red Sox, I still do think Craig Breslow needs to go out and find a first base option here that can help this team. Someone like Adam Smith last year who filled in for Tristan Casas and actually did pretty well for the Sox there. Roman Anthony hitting it like 315 in AAA right now. It's just a matter of where's the spot for him, because Jarren Duran has heated back up. He is your leadoff guy. He's played really well the last week. He's starting to look like his old self from a year ago. Willie Abreu leads the team in home runs. He's been really good. He should be in that cleanup spot on a nightly basis. And Ceddanne Rafaela has been pretty good here too, guys, for the last, really since the beginning of May. I think he's hitting over 300 in the month of May. But Rafaela has started hitting. He's still swinging at everything. So eventually we are going to see some regression with Rafaela getting back down and probably in like the 230 range. But for right now, there's just no spot for Roman Anthony on the Major League roster. I'm curious to see if they try Rafaela at shortstop a time or two. maybe start sitting Trevor Story more often because he's been brutal to watch at the plate. He can't touch anything that's over 94 miles an hour. So maybe you put Rafaela there, maybe you put Meyer there. That opens up a spot in the outfield. Maybe you slide Jarren Duran back over to center. And then you got a spot for maybe Robin Anthony right there. But the Red Sox desperately need help. They need those two guys probably to come up sooner rather than later. It's starting to sound like we will see these guys maybe before the All-Star break, maybe in the month of June. But the Red Sox need help in the bottom half of their lineup specifically. On a nightly basis, they're trotting out Trevor Story in the 5 spot, who can't hit anything right now. Christian Campbell, who I mentioned, has been in the 4 spot, but he's been a nightmare in that cleanup spot. I'm sure he's going to start dropping down in that lineup. You got guys like Abraham Toro, who is not an everyday major leaguer. He really isn't even a platoon guy. He's just there out of necessity right now. The catching situation, Narvaez has been decent at the plate. Connor Wong has not, but those guys are platooning. Who else we got there? David Hamilton, who has like one good game every 4 or 5 games that we see him, it feels like. So, and then Rafael has been okay in the 9 spot as of late. But the bottom half of the Red Sox lineup, after you get through Wilyer Abreu, Alex Bregman, Rafi Devers, it's a black hole, and it's almost automatic outs. We saw this with the Braves yesterday, as when the Red Sox were trying to make their second comeback. It was just 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3. These guys just are not doing enough here, and they need some help. They need some reinforcements, and getting some kids up that are supposed to be studs and your top prospects could be the way to go, which is what I see them doing. So as we start to look at tonight's game, this is my buddy Sean Zerillo's write-up on the Action Network here. Let me just make sure you can see it. There's that. Let's pull up the odds for tonight. Let's go to odds. We will go to MLB. So the Red Sox, as you can see, are like a plus 115 here on BetMGM. I like the Red Sox on the money line to bounce back. Hunter Dobbins has been pretty good. I really like this because this is more about fading the Mets tonight than it is backing the Red Sox. I just had that article from Sean Zerillo up there, his daily rundown. He does a great job breaking down teams coming off of playing Sunday night baseball and then having to travel to a different city. Have been a really good spot that's been a really good spot to fade those teams. They have like a winning percentage of like 480 or something in the last 15 years. I think they're 55 and 66 or something like that, going to a new city on Monday night after they just played Sunday night. I like this spot here for the Red Sox. Alex Cora is not managing the team tonight, by the way. His daughter's graduating from Boston College, so he's not going to be with the club. If you think that is any impact on this game. But I like the Red Sox to win. I'm going to go Sox money line with my Red Sox play of the day. Full transparency, these Red Sox bets that I've been doing this season have not gone the way I have hoped. I think I am like 16 and 32 at this point. It has not gone well. We've been hooked a lot of times. But I'm going to go Red Sox money line. As you can see, the market is moving this as well. It opened at plus 120. It's down to plus 110 on some spots. So money has come in on the Red Sox to move this line. I'm going to jump in on this as well. Grab them at the plus money. Hope the Red Sox can pull off a win tonight. All right, guys, if you like the content, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It would mean so much to me. I'm trying to build this channel. I'm going to do some more Boston sports stuff and some more national sports stuff as we move on, get into the summer and all that kind of stuff. Some more gambling-focused things as well. But thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments, whether they're positive feedback, negative feedback, whatever, just want to bitch about the Red Sox, please leave a comment. Would love to hear from you. I'll get back to you. But thank you for watching. And yeah, hopefully the Red Sox can figure this thing out and get things moving in the right direction soon.